Hey there, superstar. Welcome to how to build or grow your group coaching community. A group coaching community is a very fulfilling and powerful thing that you can build as a coach. Imagine having a thriving group of people who are supporting each other, sharing best practices, uplifting each other, supporting you and uplifting you. It's a wonderful experience. I call this type of community a crew or a culture. Now, a community can be kind of a loosely knit group, or it can be a tightly knit group, but a community is kind of a broad term. When I say crew or culture, what I mean is a tighter knit community than just a regular community. It's a group of people who share common values, have a common vision, are really all in committed. They're not coming or going all the time. There's a sense of stability and solidness in a culture or a crew. Now, as a coach, one of the problems that creating a community solves is the problem of being exhausted. If you're a coach and you've been doing one-on-one and you've been working with people individually successfully for a long time, it may be that you're feeling burnt out. And building a community is a way to create something more fulfilling, more scalable, more sustainable, something that can live on even beyond you, and also something that can deliver monthly recurring revenues for the long haul. When you build a culture or a crew, people stay for a long time, right? In kind of a group coaching program that's just about the program, sometimes people come and go, no big deal. But when you're building something like a crew, what I consider to be a crew, you're building something that has longevity, that's gonna last, and where there are real deep relationships being formed. Having a community also can relieve you of some of the burden of the coaching. As a coach, you can often be the source of all the magic in your group, where everybody's looking at you for the answers. They all want some of your time, and you might feel like you're stretched in a lot of different directions. When you build a real crew or culture, you can take your foot off the gas a little bit because a lot of the work is done by the community itself. There's a magic in the community that you might not even be able to deliver on your own. I'll give you an example. We have an amazing client named Marianne Dersh. She wrote a book called Courageous Communications. You can check her out online. She's incredible. She's such a devoted member of our community. In fact, she's even done some videos on my channel a couple years ago. She's such a devoted member of our community that when she goes out and has a big breakthrough or aha moment, she always comes back and then shares what she learned with the group. And I know because people tell me that some of the things that she's shared have been life-changing for them. She's shared how to deliver a call to action in front of a big audience to get people to become leads into her program. She's shared how to deal with a client who wants to cancel. Just all sorts of experiences that she's had. She's brought that to the culture. Now, before I dive into the content of this video, I do want to invite you to see that I have another video on how to build a culture, how to intentionally build it, and what are some of the, I think it's 7 or 8 key characteristics of a culture. Now, that's going to be different than this content. In this content, I'm going to focus a lot on what to do to have a culture that you've already started and make it grow and make it better. So it starts with number 1, as it often does, going inward and coming up with what's your vision of the culture. Now, this might seem pretty obvious, but it was a step that I wholly skipped when I started my culture for the first time. And I'm convinced that if I'd done this step earlier at the beginning, I think my trajectory would have been different. It would have been easier. The Envision is, what kind of culture do you want to have? Who do you want it to be filled with? What kind of people do you want to be spending your time with? Who do you want to be enrolling? Who do you want to be working with, right? Like really getting clear of your vision. And really I want to add here from a place of desire. Like what is your heart desire? Not what does your mind think it should want or should have. Oh, I should have a culture of badass business people doing business deals. Meanwhile, your heart's like, I want to help people open their hearts and foster love, right? And if this is what your heart wants, then that's what you want to start to put the foundation in to create. So here's the thing. You want to connect to your vision, cultivate it, and fall in love with it. Now, I know this sounds woo-woo. I get it. And it's for real. When you do this, when it comes from the heart, it's so much more powerful and it manifests so much faster. The next thing that I would suggest you do, and by the way, even if you already have a culture, I say go back and do this step. Number 2, enroll. Enroll your current people in it. I just did this recently again for like the 5th time, where basically I came back to the drawing board and I came back to, what do I want to experience? How do I want to feel in my culture? Who do I want to be surrounded by? And what I recognized was that there was a little shift there. There was a little tweak over, like a click over from where we currently were. So I went back to my current clients, and guess what? I shared the vision. I shared the vision with them, and I called them up to it. It's like, who's in this? Who wants to be in this vibrant culture full of creators creating? And I basically enrolled them back into the same program they've already been in, but from a new energy. So by the way, in this step 2, I'm talking about enrolling your existing people in your new vision, right? Then step 3 is enroll the new people. Enroll the new people in the vision. Start to share this vision out in the world. Start to talk about what you're creating. Talk about it on your sales calls. So like really fostering this new vision as the foundation of what you're creating next. And something to think about as you're enrolling both of these people is enrolling them in a vision that is less and less dependent on you. And so one way that you can do that, this is what I did, is I said I have a vision of people who are empowered, who are making moves every day and then coming back here and sharing the moves that they're making. People who show up ready to play every single day. And so what I'm doing there is naturally doing step 4, which is raising the standards. Raising the standards that are going to support that vision and creating boundaries. So every time I've done this process, I've changed the way people have access to me. I've changed the requirements for them to have access. One time I actually realized, hey, I want people who show up ready to play and come to our meetings ready to go, right? So what did I do? I created a new intake form for every single coaching call where people would explain to me what they were doing already, what they wanted to cover in the call, what their objectives for the call were, all these things that basically established new boundaries in order for us to have a call together that would support this new vision that I had come up with. And then finally, of course, the last thing you want to do is you want to reinforce and maybe perhaps just enforce, I guess, the standards and the boundaries. What I say is you can enforce things, which feels to me like, oh, you did something wrong, bad client, bad person. Or you can reinforce, which is essentially, hey, you did this thing beautifully. You did this right. Let's highlight that. Let me share it with everyone in the culture. What I found is that when you're creating a vibrant culture of creators and empowered people, that it's way more effective to reinforce by uplifting rather than to enforce by cracking the whip. And another thing that you can do is you can start to teach people in your culture how to reinforce with you and for you. We call this, in our culture, we call this witnessing. And basically what I'm doing is I'm training people to recognize the characteristics and the qualities and the behaviors that align with this vision and to recognize them and celebrate them when they see them. So for example, if we see somebody taking bold action, we might say, I witnessed taking bold action. That reinforces taking bold action, which is part of that culture that I'm trying to create. I hope this video was helpful for you and you can implement some of this in your own business. And if you're looking for guidance and mentorship and support to grow and scale your group coaching practice, let's connect. You can find out how to book time with me at superstaractivator.com/go.